you ever ask yourself, how can I go out there and get more high value clients? How can I get 2, 3, 4 new clients this week? Today I want to introduce you to the one message method. And this method is so you can get into conversations with your perfect clients, shorten your sales cycle, and without having to do complicated funnels, ads, or mess around with a lot of technology stuff, right? Now, why this is so critically important, I was talking to one of our clients here the other day, and I see so many people struggling with trying to automate their business and trying to get all these tech things in place to automate the business. And it's getting in the way of good, hardworking people actually making money, right? So the tech and automation in many cases is getting in the way of you making money and growing your business when we're not careful. The problem is most people don't have the know-how to build out sophisticated funnels, models, campaigns. Maybe they don't have the team. Maybe they don't have the right team, the right people in the right seats to be able to help do that. Even worse, it's no fun when you put all this time and all this energy into building out a sales model or a funnel to have it get lackluster results, right? Either based on reality or false expectation. That's no fun at all, is it? And I've been there, and I've seen this with other clients too, and I think you're going to love today's segment. The one message method, right? What the one message method does, it gets you into conversations with your perfect clients. Your perfect clients. Really, really simple. I mean, how much better would you feel if you were in more conversations with your perfect clients? That's what this method is all about. You'll be able to test your offers in conversations with your potential perfect clients. On top of that, when you have an offer that's working, right, then you can actually put more focus into it and scaling it up with ads and automation. And the beauty is you can test it in these conversations. Right? For me, this has been a godsend. People regularly ask, how have you worked with all of these amazing types of people? I mean, we've been able to help over 5,000 business owners, founders, CEOs grow their businesses with less stress. We've had over 200,000 people purchase our education programs over the years, right? I've been so fortunate to work with people like Brian Tracy and Chris and Janet Atwood, clients like Dean Graziosi, Joe Polish, been able to do some things with T. Harv Eker, Mark Victor Hansen, and the list goes on and on and on. Well, it didn't happen by me letting automation and technology get in the way, right? And so I think you're going to love this and how it can help transform the way you think about building your business. So step number one, which is so incredibly important, is this. And don't underestimate the simplicity of step number one here. The key is if you want to attract high value clients and you want to use the one message method, you've got to meet them where they are at, not where you're wanting them to be. That's really, really critical, right? I didn't get into business and do business with Dean Graziosi because I waited for him to respond to an ad online. I didn't wait for Joe Polish to respond to an ad online, right? We met where they were at. And I'll talk more about that here. And the list goes on. These are just a couple quick examples. So how do you do this? So here are a couple ways that you can meet them where they're at. So you email them one-on-one, right? Not in like mass mailings per se, right? So it's not relying on mass mailings. Your mass mailings serve a purpose. It's not for this, right? You can meet them on Facebook directly in private messaging. You can meet them on LinkedIn in private messaging. The key is getting yourself into an opportunity to be face-to-face, either online, right, in a conversation, or face-to-face in proximity, actually sitting down with them. I remember meeting Dean Graziosi for the first time. A friend of mine, Jimmy, referred me to Dean. And we sat down in a restaurant across from his office at a place called Boston's in Tempe, Arizona. And we got into the conversation. I'm going to talk about that conversation here in a little bit. But it was face-to-face, right? It wasn't like me trying to go at this thing in an automated way. When I sat down with Joe Polish to talk about us working out, we sat at a restaurant next to his office. We met them where they were at. And again, I've got hundreds of examples like this. And I imagine as you think about it, think about you. Like how much more efficient can you be if you're in the right conversation with the right potential client in this kind of a setting, right? So the key is it's one-on-one, right? And it's personal, right? It's personal in many ways. Again, for high value type clients, right? So another key to this process that will help you succeed versus not is you want to start with focusing on what you can provide and give them, not what you can get from them, right? When I've gone into these different relationships, I haven't gone in with the agenda, what can I get from you? It's how can I help you? How can I help you? And really taking that approach, and I think people feel that when you work with them, right? So step 2 in this process, once you're clear on who they are and to working to meet them where they're at, then you want to follow this 4-part method, right? Which is step 2. So part 1, number 1 is, getting into the conversation. I admire your work with, whatever it might be, right? It might be, hey, I admire your work. Like one of my son's, mentors, coaches, if you will, is a guy named Dub Maddox, and he's invented this program called the R4 offensive system, probably the top offensive system for high schools and now moving into colleges in the country, and some pro teams have even adapted some of the pieces of it. And so I reached out to Dub to say, hey, I really admire what you're doing with your R4 system. It's a combination of strategy in football, but also strategy in life. And then we went to the next step. So how could you put that in place? By reaching out to some of the key people that you want to do business with. Here are a couple real critical pieces that you want to implement as you do this, right? See, this isn't a shotgun approach, right? Again, this isn't like a fully automated approach. This is, again, it's one-to-one and personal. You want to do research, right? You can use Google to do this. You want to definitely be sincere. You want to do prep work, right? And maybe think of who can connect you with the potential people you want to do business with. As I mentioned, Jimmy introduced me to Dean, right? And there's been all kinds of relationships. I love this quote. I can't remember if it's from Joe or from Gary Halbert, but the quote is, only the hungriest fish go for the crappiest bait, right? So again, are you relying on automation, and is automation costing you money, right? Now, you still want to do automation. However, you want to build in these types of processes for you and your team too. See, these are high value relationships, right? And potential, high value clients. Treat them that way. So critically important. Don't, trip over a dollar to get to a penny, right? Really focus on the value of the relationship. So part 2 is now you share with them what is your offer to them. Like, for example, when I went to Dub Maddox, my son's coach, I said, hey, Dub, I've got a platform where I interview experts. We've had the founder, a previous client of ours, Bill Rasmussen of ESPN on, and hundreds of other successful business people. And we'd love to have you on our show, right? So I'm doing a show, right? You could do this, and you could look at writing an article of some of the top successful people in your niche, in your industry, a podcast, an interview, research, right? College kids do this a lot. They'll go to successful people and go, hey, I'm doing a research project for college. Why couldn't you do that, right? Why couldn't you take that really simple approach as I'm doing? Now, let me speak to the elephant in the room, right? You might say, well, Dan, I don't have any of those things. I don't have content publishing pieces. Well, if you're not doing any of those things, start something, even if it's just a research project for your industry to come up with some data points on it. So if you're not doing it, start something. Part 3, our focus is, and now it's about them. Like, what are you going to provide them? When I mentioned it to Dub Maddox, this is, in the last few months recent, said, Dub, we've got a platform, we've got over 40, 50,000 business owners, founders, CEOs in our community. Interview you. I'd love to give you exposure. I'd also love to, share some insights on what we're doing to help others grow their businesses too. Right? So it was very straightforward, right? So it's your big promise and the vision tied to it and the exposure that it gives them, right? Every business wants more clients. They want more exposure. They want more opportunity to get access to communities that they can't get to without your help, right? So one of the fastest and easiest ways, this goes across the board, and I'll give you a direct example here in a second with a couple samples. So part 3, here's a good example of, our focus are athletes who want to know how to focus before a game. I want to get your service to top level hypnotists out there so you can get exposure to some of the best athletes in the world, right? It's what's in it for them, right? What's in it for them? W-I-F-T, right? What's in it for them? Or W-I-F-Y, what's in it for you, right? Keep that in mind. I mean, this is a simple little template that you could model from. You could take a picture of this right now and actually then fill in your stuff to make that introduction, right? Here's another one. This was Dean Graziosi at lunch, a version of it. It might have been a little longer because we sat there for about 45 minutes to an hour having lunch, right? Our focus, my focus, is to help a company like yours grow its sales and profitability with less stress and no risk to you. So we'll bring a team to help you get your products, your services, your coaching and courses out there to more people, and you can grow your profits with less stress. I mean, we have a proven system that works, and it's a performance-based model. We guarantee it. What's the worst that could happen? That was the gist of the conversation with Dean. I said, I guess the key question is would you want our help? And that led us to moving forward, and we got a chance to work together in less than a year. We helped Dean double his business at that time, right? All because of this simple approach. And again, this is just one of dozens and dozens of examples, and you probably have your own examples if you really think this through, right? And so the key is then once you spark their interest, if you'd like to, learn how we can help you grow with less stress. If, in Dubmatic's case, if you'd like to learn how we can get you exposure to a group of business owners, founders, CEOs, and get your message out there in a cool, unique way, I'd love to have a conversation. Are you open to that? Really that simple. Like there's no trickery. There's no like razzle dazzle behind the back closes needed. It's just very simple and conversational. Are you open to this kind of conversation, right? So the key is you got to show them what you have and show the value to them. Show it's what's in it for you, what's in it for them, right? What will it do for you? What will it give you when you do this? Really, really critical. These key points, you should ideally take a picture of this. Anytime you're communicating with anyone, you want to be thinking, here's what we got. Here's what it will do for you. Here's what it will give you. Here's what it will give you, right? At the end of the day, it's about them. It's about you. So here are some simple action steps for you to be able to take, right? Number 1, meet them where they're at, right? Follow the simple 4-part method, right? And then also step number 3 is play the long game. What does that mean? You're in the relationship business, not transactional. See, if you're going to rely on automation and online only, that's a very transactional type business in many ways. Now, do you want to automate things? Yes, I'm not saying not to automate things. I'm not saying not to build a system and a process to bring, clients to you, right? But that system is setting the stage for you to build this and build this system to be able to do this at scale, which happens, right? At our peak, we had over 300 presentations a day happening because we built a model to set the stage for something like this, and we can show you how to do something like that too, right? So what will this do for you done right? It's going to bring you your perfect potential clients. It's going to set up the opportunity for business partnerships. You'll have lifetime friendships, amazing growth, have the ability to have a bigger impact, a bigger reach, a bigger influence, and have a bigger contribution in your niche. If that's what you want, then put this simple approach in place. It's much easier than you've been led to believe. Don't let technology, don't let automation get in the way of you building a great business, having a bigger impact in your industry, in your niche. And guess what? You can take that first step right now. And by the way, if you want help with the approach to this, or maybe you're like, yeah, Dan, I would love help to set up a system like this for my company to bring me potential clients so I can have more of these kind of high quality conversations, then reach out. Let's have a conversation, see if there might be some opportunities to help each other. If we can't help you, we'll guide you to someone who might be able to help you if we're not a fit for each other. But you can take that first step. Number 1, we'll take you through our B3X Business 360 assessment. We evaluate over 127 data points. It's literally an assessment, takes them less than 3 minutes. We've had many people tell us that assessment gave them more clarity, certainty, and direction than many programs they've invested thousands of dollars for. So you get that, as well as us then discussing your assessment, your business, all about you, right? And you can take that first step by going to breakthroughstrategycall.com. That's breakthroughstrategycall.com. Again, take action with what we've shared with you today. Get in more high quality conversations. Approach this the way we've shared with you, and it will transform the way you go about building your business. It's a lot of fun. It's enjoyable, and it's very lucrative when it's done right. So take action, seize the day, and we'll see you on another segment right around the corner. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to this episode of growthtofreedom.com. Are you struggling to get a steady flow of new clients every day, or maybe hit a plateau or hit a wall in growing your business? Well, let's help you solve this problem today. Let's review your business and have a conversation. You can do that for free today at breakthroughstrategycall.com. That's breakthroughstrategycall.com. In addition, if you're looking for a simple way to implement some of what we've been talking about in today's episode, then I want to encourage you to get our free small business toolkit. You can get that at activate.breakthrough3x.com. That's activate.breakthrough3x.com. If you'd like access to the special resources and all the show notes for this special episode, make sure to visit growthtofreedom.com.